SGA is looking for an election commissioner.
E. coli at Chipotle.
And our exclusive interview with Bill Nye.
Plus national news and weather, live from the Busch Student Center. This is SLU News 22.
Good evening, I'm Bobby Stilwell.
And I'm Emily Borah.
Thank you for joining us this evening. The Russian airline Cogolomavia has blamed external influence for Saturday's Sinai plane crash that killed 224 people. An investigation by aviation experts using data from the aircraft's black boxes has yet to provide conclusions, and the head of Russia's Federal Aviation Agency said it is premature to speculate on the cause of the crash. Russian President Vladimir Putin has described the crash as, quote, an enormous tragedy, end quote, and expressed his condolences to the families of the victims.
One person is dead and at least 9 others have been injured after Chipotle, a strong tropical cyclone in the Arabian Sea, sideswiped the Yemeni island of Socotra Sunday. The Associated Press said that in addition to the casualties, Chipotle has caused major flooding to an area that typically doesn't see much rain. Strong winds have also caused power outages. The app reported that 9,000 people have been evacuated from the capital of Hadibo. Locals have sought shelter in government buildings and schools as high water levels flooded numerous streets.
Meteorologist Tim Cady is in the Weather Center with our first forecast. Tim, what are we looking at this week?
Well, we're looking great out there right now. Conditions are really clear across the area right here. We've got 60 here in St. Louis, a little bit warmer out to the west in St. Charles and Chesterfield, 62 out there. We do have some clouds out to our east in Illinois in the mid-50s across the area. But this clear and seasonably warm weather is going to continue throughout the next couple of days. Tonight, clear, crisp fall night. Not really much to complain about. It's a perfect night to go and throw around the Frisbee out on the field. 55 degrees and winds out of the east at 5 miles an hour. As we move into the week, we're going to have these seasonably warm conditions continue through Wednesday. Temperatures up into the mid-70s. But then on Thursday, showers and clouds are going to move in. We're going to have some steady rain overnight into Friday. This cool down is going to continue through the weekend where we're only really going to hit up into the mid-50s to high 50s. So that's what we're looking at right now. I'll have your full forecast in a little while. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Tim. Islamist militant group Boko Haram has released photos apparently showing a rocket-making factory in northeastern Nigeria. The group has used rocket-propelled grenades in the past, and the new photos now show where they are coming from. The photos show members of the group who seem to have the technical knowledge to manufacture weapons. The pictures are believed to have been taken in a college in Borno State, where they were sent as a WhatsApp message to the BBC Hausa. The photos have also been published on sites linked to the Islamic State, which Boko Haram has joined.
Police are saying little about why a man killed 3 people at random on the streets of Colorado Springs. The unidentified gunman was shot dead by police after roaming the streets with a rifle and a revolver in broad daylight. On Saturday, officials have released few details, but accounts and friends and witnesses suggest the victims were not connected.
The U.S. Navy, using a remotely controlled submersible operating almost 3 miles below the ocean's surface, has identified the cargo ship El Faro, says Navy spokesman Christopher Johnson. The U.S.-flagged El Faro was headed to Puerto Rico from Jacksonville, Florida, and went missing near the Bahamas on October 1st, with 33 people on board. The owners of El Faro said the captain had a plan to avoid Hurricane Joaquin, but the ship's main propulsion failed, leaving the crew in the path of the Category 4 storm. Search crews used sonar over the weekend to find the wreckage that was later identified to be the 790-foot cargo ship, which was found in an upright position. Families of those on board the ship finally had the answer they had been seeking for more than a month, but many are still left with questions. Coming up next, your SLU area news. Stay tuned. Welcome back. SGA is looking to appoint an election commissioner for the 2016 spring elections. The commissioner is responsible for the impartial and efficient operation of elections. In order to be eligible to apply for this position, students must currently be enrolled at SLU and must not be returning to the institution for the 2016-17 school year. There is a link to apply in this week's SGA email, or email SGA VP of Internal Affairs Luella Lozelle at sga.internal@slu.edu for more information.
The Hearst Foundation has awarded a grant to SLU's prison program. This grant will support the Associate of Arts degree program and the Prison Arts and Education program at the Eastern Reception Diagnostic and Correctional Center in Bonne Terre, Missouri. The grant will provide $200,000 over 2 years to the program.
As part of Make a Difference Day, the SLU chapter of the Institute of Electrical and Electronic Engineers, or IEEE, held its third annual Billikenbots. The event introduces members of the Junior Academy of Science to STEM and what the field has to offer. More than 60 students from across the St. Louis area participated in the event.
Students from all disciplines are invited to attend a cross-discipline collaborative event to promote dialogue around diversity and social justice with a commitment to action on Tuesday, November 3rd in Carlo Auditorium of Tegler Hall. Diversity Dialogues is an event developed by students from 4 different courses representing 4 different disciplines. It aims to engage the SLU community in discussions about issues for diversity and social justice that invite the audience to commit to taking action. Doors open at 5:30 p.m. and the performance starts at 6 p.m.
Last Wednesday, Bill Nye visited SLU's campus. Our own Abby Borah had the opportunity to sit down with him and talk with him. Here's the interview.
Hi, my name's Abby Borah, and I'm here with Bill Nye, the star of the Emmy Award-winning TV show, Bill Nye the Science Guy. Bill, thank you so much for being here with us today.
It's so good to be here.
We're so happy to have you.
It's so good to be had.
Yeah. Like, why do you think that it's important that they go into the fields of science and mathematics?
We have 7+ billion people living here on Earth. And by the time you all are my age, there'll be 9 billion people. And in order to feed them and have them have access to clean water and electricity, that's going to be science. That's going to be technology that you all are going to develop.
What do you think what do you hope the future of science can be for our generation?
No, I want you all to solve 4 problems at least. Electricity for everybody in the world. Clean water for everybody in the world. Then I want one of you or a group of you to come up with a better battery or a family of batteries that would enable us to store enormous amounts of electricity. And then along with that, the smart grid or the better transmission lines. And then the system where we have a fee on production of carbon dioxide.
Thanks, Abby. Public hearings over St. Louis's financing of a proposed new riverfront football stadium are expected next week. Board of Aldermen President Lewis Reed assigned the bill on Monday to the Aldermanic Ways and Means Committee. Alderman Steve Conway said he is putting together a schedule for hearings. He said he expects to have 2 of them next week, with one of them being in the evening. If the committee recommends the bill after the hearings, it would then go before the full board of aldermen.
Students and teachers in East St. Louis had their first day back after a teacher strike kept 6,000 students out of class during the month of October. School Superintendent Arthur Culver said the district would make up the 21 lost school days by going later into June and also by shortening holiday breaks. On Friday, the school district and its 400 teachers approved a 4-year contract to end the strike. The main source of dispute had been the number of salary steps in the contract. In previous contracts, teachers had to work with 11 years to reach top pay. Now it's 19. School officials had wanted to make it 21 years, but the union resisted and called the strike. Families affected by the strike are happy and relieved to once again be able to send their kids to school.
November 6th through the 8th, Mamma Mia will be playing at the Fabulous Fox Theater. Mamma Mia is the ultimate feel-good show that has audience coming back again and again. The smash hit musical combines ABBA's greatest hits, Dancing Queen and Super Trooper, and Take a Chance on Me, with an enchanting tale of love, laughter, and friendship. Tickets can still be purchased at www.fabulousfox.com.
Coming up next, your work week forecast. Stay with us. Welcome back. Meteorologist Cady is here with us now for your extended forecast. Tim, This week is looking warm, but going into the weekend, what are we looking at?
Well, yeah, we're looking at some really seasonably warm conditions. We're going to be up into the 70s for the next few days, but take advantage of that while you still can because there is some rain rolling in on Thursday night, and we're going to see a cool down coming this weekend. As you can see right now, it is 60 right here at SLU. We had a low of 49 this morning and a high of 71 this afternoon, humidity of 66%, and a little bit of a muggy dew point at 53. Now, locally here, what's bringing us this warm and seasonal weather is this high pressure system that's just to the west of us. We have sunny, barely any clouds across the area. As I said before, those seasonally warm temperatures have persisted over the past few days. They're going to continue for the next few days. Now, nationally, a few main areas of weather going on right now. We have a low pressure system right off the, moving right off into the coast of California, and we have some rain behind that, as well as another one down in the lower mid-Atlantic, and we have some rain ahead of that cold front off of that. Now, Monday tonight, we're going to have a low of 55 around 10 p.m., clear skies and winds to the east at 5 miles per hour. And tomorrow, more of the same conditions that we had today. We're going to hit 75 by 4 p.m., partly cloudy skies and seasonably warm conditions, winds 5 to 10 miles an hour out of the southeast. Tomorrow night, again, more of the same. We're going to again drop down to a low of 55, clearing skies after we get to a little bit of partly cloudy conditions during the afternoon. Winds calm down to about 5 miles an hour out of the east. Now, for your 5-day forecast, as I was saying before, we're going to hit the mid-70s for the next couple days. But Thursday night, we're going to have some clouds and showers move in, and we could get up to a half-inch of rain when it's all said and done by Friday. Now, Friday morning, we're really going to be seeing some rainy conditions, but that's hopefully going to taper off by the afternoon. And ahead of us this weekend, we're going to have a bit of a cool down. As Saturday, we're only going to reach a high of 56. Back to you guys.
So really a cold weekend ahead of us, huh, Tim?
Yeah, so definitely go and take those advantage of those warm temperatures while you still can, because we're really not going to have conditions like this for quite a while, I think.
Okay, I might try studying outside a little bit then at the beginning of this week. Thanks, Tim. Up next, a look into the world of sports and entertainment. Stay with us. Welcome back. The Weeknd is dominating the charts once again as The Hills continues to hold the #1 spot in the Billboard Top 100. Drake's Hotline Bling and Justin Bieber's What Do You Mean continue to follow The Weeknd, taking #2 and #3 respectively. Stitches by Shawn Mendes and Wildest Dreams by Taylor Swift have both moved up 1 spot from last week, taking #4 and #5, knocking Fetty Wap's 679 down to #6.
The Martian remained at the top of the box office this past weekend. The Martian grossed $11.7 million. Goosebumps continued to keep the second place spot, grossing $9.8 million. Bridge of Spies took the third place spot once again. This weekend, Hotel Transylvania 2 moved up a spot to 4th, while The Last Witch Hunter dropped to 5th.
This week, Valerie Carrizales went out on campus to see what SLU students were planning on doing for Halloween. We go to her now.
Hi, this is Valerie Carrizales with SLU News 22, and we have a question for the SLU students on campus. What are you planning to be for Halloween? Nathan Scott.
And Lucas Scott from One Tree Hill.
The state of Oklahoma.
I am obsessed with superheroes, so I'm going to Supergirl.
I'm going to be Jon Snow from the Game of Thrones.
I plan on being Michael Jackson, but like a girl version. So, you know, with the suit and the pants and the fedora.
Construction worker.
I'm going to be a Catwoman.
I'm going to be Wonder Woman.
I try to dress up as John Travolta, but I'm not sure if it will work.
My boy Eazy-E.
Yadier Molina of the St. Louis Cardinals.
Sadness from Inside Out.
A Teletubby.
I'm going to be Kim Possible.
I plan to go as the Twitter bird, and I will be dressed in all blue, following people around and saying retweet after everything they say.
I'm going to be Merida from Brave, the Disney movie.
Thanks, Valerie. Multiple technology companies are planning to provide internet to poor countries via satellites and balloons. OneWeb plans to launch over 600 small satellites to directly beam high-speed internet down to Earth. These satellites will orbit closer to the Earth, which will speed up delivery of the signal. SpaceX, which already serves the International Space Station, plans to launch 4,000 small disposable satellites. These satellites will also orbit closer to the Earth. Google plans to launch solar-powered balloons, which will fly fly anywhere between 60,000 and 90,000 feet, well out of the reach of any airplanes. Facebook plans to launch solar-powered drones. Google is currently testing their technology. Facebook will test over the coming months. SpaceX plans to begin testing in 2016, and OneWeb will start their service in 2019.
Chipotle has temporarily closed dozens of its restaurants in Washington and Oregon after an E. coli scare. No one has died in the reported cases of the infection, but 7 of the Washington patients and 1 Oregon patient were hospitalized. The source of contamination has yet to be exactly determined, but 19 cases in Washington and 3 cases in Oregon have been linking to a handful of locations of the restaurant chain.
We now go to Monica Ryan for a check on sports.
Won the World Series Sunday night. They won the series in 5 games, 4-1. Going into the 9th inning, the Mets were up 2-1, but then Hosmer scored the tying run. Going into extra innings, the score stayed tied until the 12th inning, when the Royals' Christian Colin hit an RBI to score the winning run. The Royals were on a streak after that to win the game 7-2. This was the Royals' first World Series championship in 30 years. The Blues are starting the season off strong with an 8-3 record. They're on a 3-game winning streak, going into playing the LA Kings in their final home game before they go on a 4-game road trip starting in Chicago against the Blackhawks. The Blues are second in the Western Division behind the Dallas Stars. The Rams beat the 49ers 27-6 this past week. Their record is now 4-3, and they're second in the NFC West. Todd Gurley was a standout for the Rams, rushing for 133 yards and 20 carries. This is Gurley's 4th straight start, rushing 100 yards or more. In Week 9, the Rams look forward to meeting the Minnesota Vikings at the U.S. Bank Stadium. SLU men's soccer on Saturday traveled to Olean, New York to play St. Bonaventure in an A-10 matchup. Senior Vince Cicerelli scored in the 12th minute. The score stood the rest of the game, giving the Billikens the win. They're now 4-1-2 in Atlantic 10 play. On Saturday, November 7th, the men play George Washington University for their senior night at Herman Stadium. Saturday, the SLU women's volleyball team traveled to the University of Rhode Island for an Atlantic 10 contest. They lost in 5 sets, 3-2. Junior Danielle Rogalski led the team with 19 kills. The women are now 8-3 in Atlantic 10 play. The Billikens have 3 more games left in regular season play. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Monica. Breaking into a Nebraska zoo to pet a tiger left a woman with injuries from the big cat and a citation for criminal trespassing. Jacqueline Ide, 33, evaded security to sneak into Omaha's Henry Dorley Zoo on Halloween night. She was bitten Sunday morning and taken to Creighton University Medical Center by a friend. The Omaha Police Department said in a statement Sunday, officers were later called because of disturbance at the hospital, where police said, quote, Ide was aggressive toward staff and showed signs of intoxication of alcohol and or drugs, end quote. When she reached into the cage to pet the tiger, she was bitten, causing severe trauma to her hand.
Well, Tim, what are we looking at for weather this week? I heard we're going to be getting a big cool down to the weekend, is that right?
Yeah, we're looking at those temperatures remaining up into the high 70s over the next couple of days, but take advantage of that while you still can. Go out there and play those outdoor sports while you're still able to, because we're going to get some rain coming in on Thursday and a big cool down come Saturday where we're only going to get up into the mid-50s. So definitely get out there those next couple of days and do the things you enjoy do outside, because you might not get to do that for quite a while.
Yeah, so it doesn't look like sports are going to go good, huh, this week?
No, it definitely will get cold towards the end of the week, and especially Saturday for the senior game for the men's soccer team. It might be a little chilly, so bring a blanket to come out and support.
Well, that's our show for tonight. Thanks for watching.
Don't forget, you can always get the latest movie reviews and news online at slutv.slu.edu or follow us on Facebook and Twitter. We'll be back here next week at 6 p.m. Until then, you stay classy, SLU.